Hello, my name is Daryl Jernay. I'm the Quality Control Manager for Specialty Products. Today we're going to talk about purging from one chemistry to another. As an applicator, your proportioning unit package is one of the biggest and most valuable investments. Utilizing your equipment to apply different products is a must to be able to meet your customers' needs and to keep your business in a position to offer new technologies. The demand for both polyurea foam and polyurea continues to expand across many applications and markets. Today, we are going to review best practices when changing from one product to another. Let's start with switching from spray foam to polyurea, and then we'll cover vice versa. The majority of time, you can change from one product to another without flushing your hose, machine, or transfer pumps. However, it is good practice to do a simple hand cup test beforehand to ensure all products are compatible and that one can come in contact with the other without a reaction. To perform a cup test, take approximately 6 ounces of both A components and mix together in a clear plastic cup using a stirring device such as a wood tongue depressor. Using a second clear plastic cup, repeat the same process with 6 ounces of both component B. Make sure to use different stir devices to prevent contaminating the B material with A material. Once each cup of material is thoroughly mixed, let the cup sit for approximately 30 minutes. Look to see if there's any type of reaction taking place between the two A side products and or between the two B side products. If no reaction is taking place in either cup, then you can proceed with the purging process. However, if there is an adverse reaction observed in either the A or the B cup test, contact the manufacturer for guidance and further direction. They will likely advise you to flush out your system with a solvent or a plasticizer. With the SPI family of products being primarily polyurea and polyurethane foam, we formulate these materials so that they are compatible with one another. This allows the purging process to be easily performed by simply removing the transfer pumps, one at a time, from existing material container and cleaning off the exterior of the transfer pumps with a solvent-dampened rag. Note, it is important to tilt the transfer pump over a product waste container in order to empty out the wet well area of the transfer pump. Hold the bottom of the transfer pump over the opening of the container that the pump has been removed from. Using your gloved index finger, push up on the check ball on the bottom of the foot valve located on the bottom of each transfer pump. This will allow the remaining material left in the lower fluid section to drain out of the transfer pump. Stand the transfer pump onto a piece of clean cardboard. Open appropriate manual valve and slowly apply air to the transfer pump and pump back some of the material back into the drum which the pump was removed from. Apply only enough air to make one smooth, complete stroke up and down about every 10 seconds. Let the transfer pump make 4 to 5 up and down strokes. This will put a pocket of air in the transfer pump that you will use later as a visual indicator when changing over the material from one to another. Once the exterior of the transfer pumps are clean, the interiors have been drained and the pocket of air has been introduced, place the A side transfer pump into the new A side material container of the material to be used. Next, place a B side transfer pump into the B side material container to be used. You will now use the fluid pressure generated by the material transfer pumps in order to push out the existing product with the new product you want in your system. Turn on the air slowly to both transfer pumps in order to let them gently pick up the new material and fill the fluid area you drained. Once the transfer pump has filled with new material, go to the end of the spray hose and slowly open the B component fluid valve on the gun coupling block. You can dispense the product back into the original container or dispense into an empty pail. You want to use extra caution to ensure that you don't contaminate your material in the container you are purging from with the new chemical that you are purging into. While using the fluid pressure generated by the transfer pumps to move the material through the proportioner and hose, you will have air pockets that spit or exit out of your coupling block. This is an indication that you're getting into the new material, and you should now move the hose from the original container to an empty pail of sufficient size. Once you begin to get the new product out of the gun coupling block, close off the fluid valves on the coupling block and proceed to do the same steps to the A side of the gun manifold. You can sometimes determine you're getting the new material by how the two different materials look. So it is important to make visual observations during this process as well. It's better to waste some material than to risk contaminating an entire set of product. Once you are confident you have purged into the new product, there will still be some mixture of both products remaining in the hose and the proportioner. The best method to finish the purge process is to spray at the recommended pressure and temperature of the new material until you are fully into the new material. This is typically 1 to 3 gallons of product, depending on your material supply hose and spray hose lengths. As with any of these processes, there will be some loss of material during changeover. This is a normal part of the process and is just to be expected. While spraying, you'll want to spray on a sacrificial piece of substrate such as plastic sheeting or cardboard in order to watch and examine what you are spraying out of the gun. Be sure to protect surrounding surfaces from overspray, which could leave an unwanted permanent coating of material. Spray onto the sacrificial substrate until you are fully into the product you have changed over into. When purging from foam to polyurea, your polyurea should have a good surface quality with no pinholing occurring, and the polyurea should not have a foaming action taking place. When you use a razor knife and do a cross cut into a piece of material that has been sprayed, you should have a good, consistent film of product with no capillaries. A gel and tack test can also be performed to measure the reactivity times of the polyurea coming out of the gun. This provides an opportunity to confirm that the observed reactivity is the same as the reactivity listed in the manufacturer's technical data sheet. When changing from polyurea to foam, you should end up with clean foam that is developing good cell structure with no color remaining from the previously used polyurea material. A reactivity test can also be performed, checking the cream and the rise of your foam against the manufacturer's technical data sheet reactivity values. Once you are sure you are in the new material and everything looks good, you are now ready to begin spraying your new product on its intended substrate. As is typical with being a quality-focused applicator, always closely watch to see if there are differences in your product's reactivity, color, and viscosity. Happy spraying!